Everyone, this will be my first ever video tutorial. I wanted to do a Facebook Live last week, but it was not in the cards. So instead I'm gonna make a shaker card for you with our Whale Done stamp set. The cute little whales right here. I'm gonna use our whale punch builder. You can see, got lots of little pieces. I've got Whale of a Time paper. We'll get to look at some of that in a moment. Got my wonderful whale sequins. And I've got some Pool Party. I have already used my Seabed embossing folder to get this cute background on here. And I also used some layering circles so I can cut out the circle where the sequins will shake behind here. Okay, so let's get started. So I've already cut my background piece of Pool Party. It's 5.5 by 4 1/4. I'm gonna use my bone folder and burnish this edge right here. Okay, so this will be the foundation piece for the card or the base. This is going to go on top, but we're going to have it elevated just a little bit so that we can have this shaker going on behind here. And before we can do that, we have to pick what we want in the background. So I'm gonna spread some of these out so you can see they're actually double-sided. And I thought it would be fun to kind of look through them because I love all of these papers and I have not decided exactly which one I want in the background. So if this were live, I would be letting you vote right now. So let's see. Ooh, I think we're gonna go possibly with these jellyfish. I don't know if that'll be too much with all of the sprinkles that we're gonna add in there. So let's see. I think we're actually gonna do these little fish instead. It's a little less intrusive when we wanna shake it later, okay? So I'm actually going to cut this so that it is going to fit behind here and it'll just barely peek out all around the edge, okay? So I'm gonna use our Stampin' Trimmer, fabulous tool. Okay. So I'm cutting it just under 4 1/4 because the card base itself is 4 1/4. So I'm gonna slice this just under. And then I'm gonna go just under 5 1/2 because again, that card base is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And we wanna kind of have a little bit of a layered look. Okay, so I'll move this out of the way. I'm gonna use our regular Stampin' Seal, which is just a little tape runner, and I'm actually gonna adhere this to the card base itself. Advance that just a tiny bit. Okay, so I did 3 swipes of that. So I can make sure it stays on here, and I'm gonna try to align this as close to perfect as possible. Okay. So in order to have this be a shaker card, I have to have a little bit of distance between the back of this and the front of this one. So I actually have a clear piece of window that I'm gonna cut down because I only want enough to cover this circle right here. See some snips. I'm going to use this inside piece, make sure I cut out a big enough square. Okay. All right. Move that out of the way. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is actually adhere my window to the front of this accent piece on the front with my raised area. I want to make sure I put the window on the back and not my textured side here. So I'm going to turn it over, and I am going to use a little bit of our Stampin' Seal Plus. It's got a little bit more of a holding power, so I want to make sure that my window does not pop off. So I did 4 sides. It may not have stuck, so let's go ahead and switch gears very quickly. Thought that that would work, but we're going to use this tear and tape instead because this will stick to anything. So I'm just going to slide this down, tear it away. I'll do that for all 4 sides. Okay. And we're gonna be able to stick this down to our card, so none of this is gonna be seen. Okay. So now I'm just gonna peel the backing off of this for all 4 sides. And I'm gonna stick my window on here. All right, so I have my window and it'll be raised up right here. So in order to do that, I'm going to use this fancy circle here. I'm just gonna align this. This is also double-sided adhesive on here, but it has like a raised lip, if you can see that. So that little lip is going to be what holds my sequins in place when I get ready to add this to the card base. Now, because the rest of this is off just a little, I'm going to clip some of this additional raised piece only because it's at the same height. Otherwise I would have used dimensionals, but I don't like to waste anything, so we're just gonna snip this and we're gonna add some of these as dimension to our foundation here. So just put a piece down here. It's gonna give our card some support. I like to fling things around. All right. I'm probably going to put one more over here, just a little piece, to make sure it'll all be supported. Okay. So the trick is getting these in here and getting them covered up correctly on here. So what I'm going to do is put a little pile of them onto the card, and then I'll add my card base on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this part prepped. Pull this outer layer off here. And the reason I want to turn the top onto the foundation is that I want to make sure that I can line it up as best as possible onto here. So I'm just going to open these up and I'm just going to pour a little bit in here. Shouldn't need a huge amount, but you know. These are some really fun sequins. See if I can get them up close for you. I don't know if you can see those little shell shapes in here, but these are fun, fun, fun. Close that up so I don't make a giant mess everywhere. All right, so I'm assuming that that is going to work. And I'm gonna lay this on top here. Let's see if I'm close enough for you to see. And I'm gonna try to line this up just so that I have a little bit of my background peeking out on all sides. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of push this down. And that's the beginning of our shaker card, okay? And see, when you open the card, you don't see all that stuff on the inside, okay? So now we're gonna decorate the rest of this. And I did pre-cut some whales from my designer series paper. So you can see one of the sheets comes with whales pre-printed, and I went ahead and cut them with that whale punch. And I'll show you exactly how that happens. Okay, so this is our whale punch, whale builder punch. And I could have used a stamp and stamped the image and then cut the whale out. And basically all you want to do is line this up and then you would punch it. Okay. And what you get out of that are these cute little whales. And if you wanted, you could have the little spout in a different color. I'm actually going to use more of our little sequins to give his spray of water towards the end here. So now I just have to decide which color I want to use, and I think I'm going to use this blue one because our sentiment is going to be stamped in this Pacific Point color that matches these tiny little fishes in the back. Okay. So I'm going to use that blue just to tie that together. Okay, so before I get to that part, I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to him. So I'm using that Stampin' Seal because this is a bulkier card and I want to make sure that he does not fall off at all. So our Stampin' Seal Plus, is what I'm using, and the plus means it's a little extra strong. Ooh, I'm going to lose it on my foundation board here. All right, so I'm gonna put him right. It's got a little bit of adhesive coming off of him there. Here we go. Put him right here, okay? And this is where I'm gonna stamp our sentiment. And because I'm running low on birthday cards, I determined that I needed to make a birthday card. So I'm going to use Hoping All Your Birthday Fishes Come True. Okay. So this is a photopolymer stamp set, and it is clear, nice so that you can put it wherever you want. You can align things very nicely. Let's see. So here's our stamp. I'll make sure I use a clear acrylic block. Put those aside, and I'm just going to put this down for a second, and I'm going to adhere it to my block. It just sticks naturally. Okay. Again, Pacific Point. It's a pretty blue color, and I'm just going to test this out and make sure I've got it in the right direction. So we're going to stick that here. Oh yes. Look how clear and crisp this stamp is. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I've already pre-cut a 1-inch piece of paper here, Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp right in the center of this. Perfect, love that. And now I'm going to use another punch tool, and this is our Pick-a-Punch, and I can pick either of these design ends for the ends of this piece right here. Makes it really nice and easy if you don't have our big fancy cutting machine. You can make little sentiment flags and mount these anywhere on your cards. So I'm actually going to use, I think I'm going to use this simple little squared off edge here. I just simply used my little P-Touch label machine, and I wrote the different dimensions that I need for a piece of paper in order to be able to punch. So our punches have this great little locking feature right here. So when I store this, I can lock it and it takes up less space. So that's really nice about these punches. So I'm gonna slide this in because I did the 1 inch. Slide it all the way down. I'm just gonna snip that off, and I'm actually gonna do it again because I think it's gonna have too much extra white on it. My yearbook days tell me that too much white space is not so great. At least it's not trapped white space. So I'm just gonna make that one a little bit smaller. Come through here, and I'm gonna stamp that one more time. And now you can see I have this cute little banner that says, "Hoping all your birthday fishes come true." And we're gonna add this banner to the top piece of our card right here. And I'm actually gonna put this up on dimensionals. So remember, I don't like to waste anything. So here's what the end of one of my dimensional sheets looks like. And here's what a brand new one looks like. So, you know, no need to waste anything. So I'm gonna add a little bit of dimension to this. And I'm gonna put a tiny little piece in the center here just for extra durability. Okay, and peel these off. Okay, and I'm gonna add this right up here. All right, and now I'm gonna throw a few sequins on my card. So let me move this out of the way. All right, so I'm gonna put a couple of glue dots or glue drops down. This is our mono liquid glue. I just call it liquid glue or Tombow glue because that's the company that makes it, and Stampin' Up! Sells this. So I'm gonna throw some sequins on here. And brighten it up just a tiny bit. Now the trick with getting these is going to be using our little pick-a-tool. Sticky. It's got a little sticky tack on the inside here, and you just kind of push it out just a tiny bit. And I'm going to throw a couple of these in here so that I can pick them up and have a little bit of a choice here. And I'm gonna choose to pick this blue one. And then because it's glue and not a stick adhesive, I'm gonna place it down. Slide that over. I love these little shells, so I'm definitely gonna include one of those on there. Okay. Let's use one of these itty bitty baby sequins right here. Okay, get a couple more. Really love the color of these sequins. And this greenish color. Sometimes your tools pick it back up. All right, so now all I really have to do is wait for that glue to dry, and I have this fabulous shaker card for somebody to celebrate a birthday. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. I do have a special going on right now. If you would like to make this card, and a couple of others that I will create video demos for as well, you just have to spend $25 and I will send you the card making pieces. So for example, if you purchased the Whale Done combo, I would send you those card pieces to make 3 cards. Okay, that would be your free gift from me. So if you are interested in that, send me a message and I will get all those details for you on how to order that. All right, hope you all have a great weekend. Happy Saturday.